Hey everyone, welcome to the Copy Corner with your host, Terry Schilling.
And Dan Marzullo.
Yes, this is our little corner of the internet where we like to talk about copywriting and content writing, practical tips to help you become a more efficient and effective writer so you can make more money doing what you love. And today's topic is about content writing, how to be a more efficient and effective content writer, right? We get some questions here, and I've seen this asked to in some of my private Facebook groups, Dan, of just I struggle with being more quick and efficient with my content writing. So we want to share some formulas today that can help you, and also getting into really the process, how you set up, your structure for writing. What's your mind like to help you get in that mind frame of knocking out a good content article. So Dan, I'll let you start because you have a pretty straightforward process when you get started. So share that with us.
Yeah. So for me, there's tons of pieces to this puzzle, right? And you'll get into more of them too, Terry. But I think, the most important thing for me is like the preparation, right? You have to be in the right mental state to even write well. It's almost like, I think of it like a workout, right? You're like getting pumped up and you're getting ready to go in and attack the weights or whatever it is. You kind of have to have that same attitude for writing. So you can't just, have this crazy busy day. You're knocking out meetings, tasks, and then go, oh, it's 4:00. I need to write an article. Like, let me sit down and just pound this out. It's probably not going to be that great because your mind's exhausted. You've already done all this stuff. You're distracted. So you're not going to really put forth your best work. So I think you really have to know how to get yourself into that flow state and prepare to write to be really effective. So for me, what that looks like is, first thing in the morning before all the other emergencies of the day have set in and, you got all these other distractions. It's like, get a cup of coffee, get yourself awake, energized, thinking about the topic, tune out all the distractions, no computer, nothing, you know what I mean? And just give yourself that permission to sit down and focus on that one thing and write. And then that's when you're going to produce your best work from what I found. It's like starting with the preparation. If you skip that, you're going to see it in the quality of writing.
Yeah, no, that's really great stuff, Dan. And I think it's just so important too to track this stuff. So it's like, what time of day are you most, efficient with writing? In the morning, is there too much going on? Maybe you get stuck catching emails. Do you find your sweet spot from like 1 to 3 p.m. right before you close up work? Maybe you write at night where you have a couple hours, right? Think about that time and track it throughout the week, and just know when you have a big project coming up or you need to knock out a really good article, right? Set that time, throughout the week when you're planning, your week ahead. That's important too with tracking that stuff.
Absolutely, Terry. But what about you, man? What else would you add to this one?
Yeah, you mentioned it. I want to get into some tactical things, some formulas that can help out and that have really helped me, because I think when I used to write content articles, I feel I would spend so much time on coming up with the headline, right? It's like, I know what I want to say. I outline, in bullet points, this is what I want to talk about structured, but then I will spend this time on the headline. So one tip that I have for you is write the headline last. Focus on that outline, get that body of the the body of the content article, right? And then focus on the meat of that. And then the headline, I think, will come to you. But one formula I like, it's really the PASS formula of content writing. So copywriting, the problem, agitation, solution is a popular formula for writing, a sales page or social media post, really, a conversion copy formula. But a similar one can be used for content writing. And it's HIPASI, Hypassi. Some people call it whatever, when you see it, I'll put it on here if you're watching this live on YouTube with us too. Or watching a YouTube video instead of the podcast, but HIPASI. So it stands for headline, image, problem, agitation, solution, invitation. So focus on that problem, agitation, solution aspect of it. So if I'm writing something about, business owners looking to improve their e-commerce sales, talk about how it's like really competitive market, marketing budgets and PPC campaigns cost a lot of money. Are you struggling to find ways to sell more of your products? Agitation is that it's, a crowded market, that the marketing budgets are really high to run campaigns. A solution, why don't you try Facebook Live shopping, right? Go ahead, or Amazon Live. Talk about that solution that can help them solve this problem, and then have an invitation where maybe you have a step-by-step tutorial of how to get started via YouTube, or maybe you have them download a free ebook to help them. Right. And then you can focus then on your headline and have a good image of it too. That's one formula that, I like to use when writing an article, especially if I have an invitation at the end. It helps me structure it and to write more efficiently. And then, Dan, I want to talk about the 4 U's. I think if you have these questions in mind, going into it, I think you can be more effective and efficient with your writing. So is it useful? Is there a sense of urgency for the prospect to act? So think about your ideal audience. Is it useful to them? Do we have a sense of urgency for them? What should they take away as unique? What is this new thing that has you challenge them to think differently about how they solve their problem? And then is it ultra specific? And ultra specific means that you can have some credible resources in there, really use some really specific examples, use visualization in your writing as well, and have, again, these real life examples of where they could use, this resource or whatever you're talking about in your content article. But those are some tactical things I think that can help with the structure of your writing.
That's good, Terry. And I think it's important, this 4 U's, because it's easy to just put out an average article that everybody else has written 50 times, right? And if you're writing content for SEO, which most likely that's a big factor, it's got to be unique just to even rank, right? That's proven that the most unique original stuff is going to perform better. So if you use this checklist, like you said, it's huge.
Absolutely. You don't have to be so, robotic with stuffing this with keywords and trying to rank that way. Like you said it really well, Dan. I mean, be unique, create good content, because that just gets more eyeballs, more shares, more comments, and that will help you rank. And you can even use these 4 U's, like before you start writing. It's like, what is useful about this topic? What is the sense of urgency I want to have? What's unique about this for the prospect? What will they take away that's unique? And then what can I do to be ultra specific? I think having that down before you start writing can really set you up to write a damn good article, in our professional opinion, Dan.
In our professional opinion. I love it.
Yeah. But anything else, man, regarding content writing? So get your chi right. Correct. Have a good flow, maybe change up the environment, but have this process in place, your mind frame. And then it's always nice to have some formulas on your side.
Totally. Yeah. I think even if you're a writer, doesn't mean writing a nice piece isn't still a lot of hard work. So plan and prepare for that, right? It is what it is. Yeah,
absolutely. So I know a lot of people, we highly recommend you guys writing your own long form content to help build brand awareness. I know a lot of companies out there are always looking for content writers. So if you're a freelance writer writing a lot of content articles, and sometimes you struggle to write good ones more quickly, more effectively, hopefully these tips will help you achieve that.
Absolutely.
It's like waiting for Dan to chime in. There he goes. I love it, dude. But all right, man. Anything else? Again, last words, Dan, before I give my last words.
Nah, go for it. Take it away.
All right, guys. Well, we appreciate you listening. If you listen on Apple, please subscribe. Please leave us reviews. We love reading the reviews on the show as well. But we're on Spotify, Google Podcasts. But thank you so much for supporting the show. And you can always hang with us Monday mornings, 10:30 a.m. Central Time live on YouTube. If you guys want to chime in and ask questions when we're going live for the Copy Corner. But thanks again. Love what you do. Keep proceeding with passion, everyone. We'll see you on the next Copy Corner.